Hello everybody and welcome to In the Driver's Seat with dubizzle Cars. In this series, we're going to be talking to the people that you want to hear from within the car industry. They'll be giving us insights, what's going on at their showroom, and everything else in between. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by none other than Luke Ferrara, the owner, and I hope I get this right this time, of Approved Automotive. Luke, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Chris. Pleasure to be the first guest.
But before we start and get into the questions, I've got one question I want to ask you, right?
Yeah.
You've been in the industry for a very, very long time. We're both from the United Kingdom, and there's always one car in particular that most of us will drive, but I have a feeling that the first car that you ever drove is not the one that I'm thinking of. So, first question, what was the first car that you ever drove or owned?
Oh, first car I ever owned was a Fiat Punto Sporting.
So I was close then.
What were you thinking?
Astral Diesel. Astra Diesel, sorry.
These sound very
Yeah.
British.
And I don't know what, what was it, 1.2, 1.4?
What's that, the Astra Diesel?
Yeah.
1.7.
Oh, 1.7. Okay, there we go.
1.7 diesel.
I thank you again, Luke, for joining us. I'm really, really happy to have you here. The showroom is absolutely incredible. I mean, 60,000 square feet of space. The amount of cars that you have in the showroom, it's kind of like a private collection and a mix of cars that are for sale. But every time we come into the showroom, it's just jaw-dropping what you have.
Yeah, so obviously we opened up with just a showroom, which was around 38,000 square feet. We can get 90 cars inside. We then built the Approved Detailing, which is the largest XPEL PPF destination in the country. Added that on to take us to 60,000 square feet. And now we're in the middle of building another 60,000 square feet right next door, which will give us 250, 300 cars, body shop facility, car storage. You know, we're just growing and growing and growing.
So you're going to, next time I come to the showroom, you're going to have 120,000 square feet of just pure car ecstasy.
From September, yes.
Amazing. Really looking forward to it. Of course, if you're enjoying the segment and the episode, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel for dubizzle, of course. We have our first question, right? And this is something that always intrigues me. What, from your perspective, are you seeing trending in the market in terms of cars? Are people buying certain vehicles of certain sizes, certain engine capacities? What are you seeing from Approved Automotive?
I'd say maybe I'm not the best person to ask that question because we do focus, we're very niche in what we do. I guess the overall trend is probably still Chinese. There's a lot of Chinese brands around, a lot of Chinese new manufacturers coming in. From our side, it's as we only do premium luxury between a certain segment and price point. Well, we sell a lot of G-Class. That's probably the biggest thing we sell is G-Class.
Well, a very important car in the
Yeah.
making, right? You see them everywhere. You can't go 5 minutes without seeing one. It's incredible. Have you noticed anything in terms of your buyers? Have they changed their preferences? Are they, I take it you have repeat buyers who come into the showroom quite frequently and buy cars from you on a regular basis. Have you seen some maybe come in for one car, but then go, oh, you know what? I quite fancy that G-Class.
Actually, that's something we see quite a lot of because we've got 200 cars of the same, pretty much the same segment, premium luxury, high end of that. We get customers will call up and they've seen an X6, for example, or a Defender. They'll call up off dubizzle, they'll come in, see the car, look around that one they've called for, and then spot something else. And it can be as wild as, and we've had a client recently called up on an RS6 and bought a G-Class. But people they just get taken away with everything we have on display.
That's the kind of money that I want to have. I'm a big fan of wagons. RS6 is a dream car, especially in green. Now, this is a question more for the, overall market as a whole. And I think actually you answered it before because you said the magic combination of country of origin and the car itself. And I think I know the answer to this one as well. It's what's driving demand currently in the market. And I think it's safe to say Chinese brands are surging in popularity.
100%. 100%. I mean, not something we really do. We have the odd one come through. But yeah, they're definitely surging in popularity. And it's hard to not look at them now.
A lot of them are really improving when it comes to the exterior, the interior, the options that they have, their capabilities as well. We think, 10 years ago when only a handful were in the market. Nowadays, they're about, 20, 30 probably coming every single year. And there are more coming up in the future as well. Now, Luke, I want to go kind of behind the scenes a little bit here. I want to talk about what's happening on the back end. We're not going to go too deep into it. So you're not going to hear any trade secrets on how Luke and the Approved team get on with things here. But what tips would you give to people out there who are selling cars on taking pictures, because when I look through your inventory, I see this incredible backdrop that you have. And I've had the pleasure to see your facility, right? I've seen how you take pictures. You take such good care. You really think about the picture quality.
That side of the business is my main focus, to be honest. The whole sales side of it is taken care of by our sales director who looks after that. But for me, my passion is in buying of cars and prepping them and displaying them. And we put a lot of effort in, huge amount of effort into what we do. And it's all about having clear, transparent imagery where people can actually see around that car. And it's not just showing one angle. I see a lot of adverts online, and before you've even got to picture 20, it's just the exterior of the car. It's about getting out there and showing everybody every angle of that car as clearly as they can.
And I agree with you 100%, right? I spent a lot of time in the industry as well. Obviously not as long as you have, but the one thing that will always drive me to look through an ad listing is the quality of pictures, right? It can tell a story about the car, and you can find out a lot more information through it. And I find a lot of times people may be missing certain pictures. Like you said, 20 pictures of the exterior, you don't want to see that, right? You want to see the interior, you want to see the options, you might want to see the engine bay, things like this.
Yeah, you've got to show the full car, and you've got to be able to show the full detail of it as well. There's a lot of people who focus on the same area, and it just you kind of miss out the rest of it of the story of the car.
Moving on, we at dubizzle Cars, we offer a lot of features that dealers can use to help promote the cars out there that they have. And also end users also have a number of options they can use. What is your favorite feature on dubizzle Cars?
I'd probably say car of the week. We use it a lot, and of course premium. Everything we try and premium every car we've got, just to make sure that our cars are the top of every listing, as much as possible.
Now, with that said, Car of the Week obviously helps you put your cars at the very top. So when you're searching for Mercedes, you see the G-Class from
Yeah.
Approved Automotive there. Is that what helps your listings stand out more? Is there a little secret that you have out there to really make yours pop that much extra?
I quite like the logo we put behind our image, the big approved orange car. I think when you look through a visual listing, you can't miss an approved car.
I mean, I look through them and I have to say I do sift through your listings quite a fair bit, because you did have a number of wagons at some point. I remember you had two E63s.
Yeah.
And when I came to the showroom and I asked about it, one was sat there and it was already sold by the time I even asked the question, is it available? I do know that you sell a lot of cars, specifically like you said, Mercedes-Benz and everything like this. But there's one car in particular that kind of piqued my interest, right? I did a little digging into what is trending at Approved Automotive. And one of the cars that I saw that garnered a lot of attention is a Mercedes, but not a G-Class. It was an SL280.
Ah, the Pagoda.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's why, right? A Pagoda is a very interesting, rare car. You don't see them very often, and especially in the condition that yours is in as well.
Yeah, it's a fully restored car. It's something that personally has been with us now for a while. We love to have it as part of the showroom, and it is just fantastic to drive and enjoy and get behind the wheel of.
It's, I love seeing these kind of cars. I love classic cars, seriously.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing to see that you have these, because you don't just specialize in the latest G-Wagons or the latest models. You have a mix of cars in there. You also don't just have sports cars, you have everything. I remember was it the Project 8 that you had?
Yeah.
When I first got sure, you had the blue one in there. Incredible car, obviously. Now then, let's move on to a little bit about you and Approved Automotive. Let's talk about what Approved Automotive is, right?
Yeah.
What makes you stand out in this competitive market, besides obviously an incredible warehouse? Obviously, I know that as soon as you drive in, you go down the T-junction. If you look right or left, you're still going to see Approved anywhere you go, right? If you're waiting there and you're stuck in traffic, you see the big Approved Automotive there. But what makes you stand out?
I think it's the approach of how we do things. I mean, when we came into the market, this is our second anniversary in April. So we're just 2 years old, which people often forget that. We really operate with integrity in everything that we do. So when even you step into the showroom, everything's clean, tidy, professional. The cars we've got are without doubt the best prepared cars you will find in the industry, because we take absolute care in preparing the car, and then that through to the sales process as well. We take a customer through a journey that they're not going to experience anywhere else.
And I've got to say, if you haven't been to Approved Automotive, head down there, because the one thing that I think I really enjoyed about your showroom as well is, and when you said that you take very, very good care, this is not Luke saying this for everyone to hear, right? If you go to the showroom, there's a space between the cars you can walk through, right?
Yeah.
And you can open the doors without having to worry about hitting the car next to you. Because in the end of the day, this happens quite a fair bit. You go to a lot of showrooms where it's kind of very tight because obviously everyone's trying to squeeze in as much as possible. But your showroom, you're able to walk around. You're able to experience the cars that you have.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's part of what people enjoy is that I get a lot of comments from regular clients that come in and they say that we like coming in here because I have to look where I'm going because it's always changing. There's always new cars. It's always moving around, which, is also nice for people to see a fresh inventory all the time.
Of course, and you always rotate. Obviously, you're selling all the
Of
time.
course.
And we've already spoken about what your best-selling and most popular car is. It's obviously the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
I did find, though, there was one listing in particular. It was a BMW M3 that piqued a lot of people's interest that you had. Is the car still available, or is that gone? I don't have the exact year, though.
An M3.
Yeah.
We don't have an M3 at the minute.
There is the-
I assume it's sold.
It's sold already, so there you go. The car is gone. Now, here's an interesting question, right? Everything is evolving. People are able to buy cars online. You can, I find it kind of strange that you wouldn't test drive a car before you buy it and everything like this, or get PPIs done, etc. This, but how do you see the future of buying and selling a car in the future?
I think it varies from where you are in the world. I think the UK, the US is very click and collect, buy online and delivery. When I was working in the UK, we used to do that a lot. But I feel like here buyers like to come see, touch it, feel it, drive it, go through the whole experience of buying a car, and experiencing that. And I don't see it really changing, to be honest with you.
I think you're probably right. There are certain things in life that you can't just buy online and have it shipped to your door. You need to experience it. You need to feel it. You need to see it in person.
I think that's especially true here because there is such a variance in not just vehicles but experience that you get with different showrooms and different people. So there's still a lot of question marks over buying a car. There's not that much trust here. It's getting better, which is great, but you've still got to really check what you're buying.
So this now leads me into my next question as well, because what you said there is very, very important. Whenever you buy a car, is to have the car checked out. You need to have things like the service history checked. You need the odometer being checked. You need to have the entire thing from bumper to bumper checked. How important are things like service history, warranty, service contracts, even an inspection report?
Very important because there's a lot of stuff that's hidden here. We're unfortunately and unfortunately, we're in an area of the world where cars come in from everywhere, right? There's a left-hand drive market. We get cars in from the US, from Canada that, sometimes can be questionable histories. There's a lot from Asia that come in. So it's important to be able to check thoroughly history, background, as you say. You really have to check that.
And I assume this is any time that you get a car in, because I know you have GCC, Japanese, European, American.
We don't do American.
Oh, you don't do it?
We don't do American. We don't do very much European.
Right.
We have the odd few. We have to thoroughly check what we get in from Europe. We're predominantly GCC and Japanese. Obviously, I think a lot of people know we're a very big player in the Japanese market.
Yeah.
From our side, our preparation level, we go so far into detail with all of that all of our cars are independently inspected.
Yeah.
But not just inspected, even they're prepared. So I think there's a huge difference and misunderstanding in what an inspection is. We could hire an inspector and do them in-house, but there's no real value in me telling you as a buyer that this car is clean.
Yeah.
Because of course I want to tell you it's clean because I want to sell you it.
Of course.
We independently inspect with Munich Motorworks, who have been around many, many years. We are transparent with our 175-point inspection, which we share with every client so they can see what the car was like when it arrived and the level of work we've done. There's some cars, believe it or not, Chris, that we've put 30, 40,000 dirhams worth of preparation spend into, especially if you get a 5-6-year-old G-Class that's been bashing over speed bumps in the neighborhood for since it was new. It's going to need suspension. It's going to need, shock absorbers and stuff like that. We do it. It's not a case of having to buy it and then you have to then put it into another workshop after to do it. We don't do many third-party inspections for clients because they trust who we are and the level of prep we put into our cars.
Fair enough. So then means any car that you buy from Approved, you know it's been well taken care of. You know that whatever has or may have happened in the past has been rectified, and then the new sell.
For sure, 100%.
Now, this is I don't know if this is the question that you do get asked a lot here. When it comes to features in cars, what do people really look for when they come and see a car at Approved? Is it the sunroof? Is it connectivity to the sound system? Engine size?
I think it varies depending on the model. You know, there's certain options that some cars must have. You know, fortunately, a lot of the cars, especially GCC, are full option, so to speak. So they've got the panoramic roof, they've got the big sound system, the comfortable seats, massage, head up. You know, a lot of them are already fully loaded anyway.
Okay. Now then, we move on into our final segment here, and this is the one that I didn't reveal to you at the beginning or in the question that I shared with you, because I wanted to get your honest and on-the-spot answers here, right? But I have a feeling the first question is going to be very difficult for you to answer. Dream car if money wasn't an issue?
Oh, it's an easy one. Bugatti Veyron, Grand Sport.
16.4?
Yeah, Grand Sport.
Favorite car to drive on a daily basis?
It changes all the time. Range Rover.
Which one?
New Range Rover
Okay.
P530.
Most underrated car on the market?
Most underrated car on the market.
It's got to be a Fiat Uno.
Oh, well, that's a good one, that is. Probably Mercedes GLS,
Okay.
actually. Odd one, but yeah, probably a GLS.
Manual or automatic?
Automatic.
Now, last question. Electric, hybrid, or petrol?
Petrol.
There you go.
Silly question.
Yeah, there you go. Luke is a true petrol head. Luke, I really appreciate you coming down and joining
Been a
us.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your insights, valuable insights. And of course, if you want to check out all of Approved inventory on dubizzle Cars, click the annotation and you can see everything that they have for sale right now on dubizzle Cars. Once again, Luke, really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the dubizzle YouTube channel to stay notified when the next episodes will come out. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode of In the Driver's Seat with dubizzle Cars.